Let's talk about open enrollment for health.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
Hello?
I was in an accident.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had my seatbelt on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to Middleton High School for this production of Treasure Valley Game Night presented by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, Valleywide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Meridian Plumbing, Lookout Credit Union, as well as the Southwest Health District of Idaho. We come to you live today for the crossover quote-unquote playoff game between Middleton and Mountain View. This game will cement a playoff spot. The loser must sit and wait for the possibility of getting in. It does not look good for the loser of this game. A lot will have to go right tonight. The wild story here in the Treasure Valley this week was what happened off the field. We'll get into that here before we get into kickoff. Hi, everybody. Logan Green here on the mic. Joined alongside me, we've got Alex. Not Alex. Alex is your brother. Lewis Johnson. I get him. I've had three different Johnson brothers all run camera for me, and right now we've got the youngest. No, we don't. We got number 3 of 5. So I'll just work my way down the Johnson roster as I go. But we're up here tonight here at Middleton. This week, if you haven't heard, there was some drama that occurred. Owyhee was put under the spotlight, we'll say, with the coming to light of an ineligible player on the team. He did not meet the practice requirements, and that's where there was a little gray area of what qualifies as a practice, what doesn't. Blah, blah, blah. The original decision by the District 3 council was that Owyhee would have to forfeit their 2 games in which this player played, and that would really shift everything over, mix everything up. This would have moved Owyhee down to that last place game, would have disqualified them from playoff contention. This game was already set. Middleton and Mountain View had already looked at film at each other, and then all of a sudden you're told on Tuesday, oh, this is changing. Middleton all of a sudden was told potentially they could be playing CUNA, who was hosting a home game tonight, which now they had to go on the road. It was a mess. Owyhee petitioned. Owyhee gets it overturned. It's such a tough thing that, they decided that adults' decisions shouldn't harm the kids. And I do agree with that to some extent, but there's a lot more to that that we won't get into. Let's get into this game right here. Again, this is a playoff spot on the line. The loser of this game sits in the max prep rankings probably below where they need to be. Right now, depending on what shakes out tonight, it looks potentially like that Owyhee team that ended up losing to Timberline last night would be the one that would get that final at-large bid from this district. There's only 2 in the entire state up for grabs. One is going to come from East Idaho among either Madison or Highland. I believe those 2 play tonight. One of those 2 will pick up the final one, and the other at-large bid will come here from this conference. So it's all going to be based on where those max prep rankings sit. Both of these teams below Owyhee right now, who is set to get one of those, so it'll all depend on what happens here tonight. So opening kickoff coming for the Vikings. Last week, Middleton lost a heartbreaker. The score was tied with Capital 21-all with about half a minute to go. Capital scored with 30 seconds to go. Middleton returns the kickoff, goes for 2, and does not convert. So Mountain View will return this one. They get it to about the 22-yard line on the return from Jacob Allen. No more room to run for Allen as he's brought down. It'll be 1st and 10 Vikings on the kickoff off the foot of Tyler Robinson for the Vikings. Robinson, the first-year kicker for the Vikings. He is a senior, though. Was a soccer player, played soccer for a couple years on the varsity level for the Vikings. Said, hey, you know what? I think I can kick a football, and has done a pretty darn good job. From what I believe, he's talking to his dad. He's perfect on extra points so far this year, perfect on his field goal attempts. And he does have a leg. He can connect from deep. So that's something to keep an eye on for the Vikings in this game. 1st and 10 Mountain View. This one's going to be a short run up the middle. Not much there on the ground. Carried by Pichardo. Nothing there for him. Picardo gets maybe a yard. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 yards to go here. Thanks for joining us here at IdahoSports.com. All right, sorry about that. Our camera just decided it didn't want to be on. Well, we got it back on here. So on 2nd down, the ball was bobbled and dropped back a little bit, and so it was a loss on 2nd down. On 3rd down, it was an illegal forward pass, so this brings up a quick 4th down. So 3 and out for the Mavericks, and they're going to be forced to punt. The last time the Vikings team saw a punt was when Capital was punting with about 4 minutes to go, where they ran into the punter and were called for roughing the kicker. This completely changed the game as Capital got the 1st down, goes down and scores, and essentially put the game away, as that was the game-winning points. And this punt is going to drop just short of midfield, and it's going to roll in Mountain View's favor down to the 37. It'll be 1st and 10 Mavericks from that spot. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings, as coming out under center for them, Brockton Smith, the senior quarterback here for the Vikings. They are missing their running back, who has been their running back for for the season. Jake Perez has a leg injury, will not be playing today. Here's the first handoff left side, some room to run, and that time is Ryan Lewis on the carry, and Lewis has a good pickup there on 1st down. So interesting storylines across the Treasure Valley tonight to see who's going to get one of those automatic bids. The SIC championship game, of course, is between Rocky Mountain and Eagle. Both of those teams are in the first round, or are automatically punched a ticket to state, and they both have a first round bye. This one goes up the middle for a first down and a little bit more on second down as the Vikings near midfield. Another run by Lewis right up the gut, and another chunk of yards and a first down. So those matchups going on around the Treasure Valley tonight. Bora plays Capital. Cuna plays Meridian. Mountain View obviously playing here at Middleton. Boise and Centennial in a game that essentially doesn't really matter outside of people's max prep standings. Eagle then plays Rocky Mountain. Again, Madison and Highland in a big game over in eastern Idaho for a chance for an automatic bid. This one is a short pass and a good pickup on first down here for the Vikings. That one's Cruz Thompson who gets a chunk of yards. It's going to be a gain of 9. Second down and 1. And that's what you want if you're Middleton. Get some good pickups on first down, and you allow your team to maybe take a shot here on second down, and then you have an opportunity on third down to just run it and get it. But a couple of plays here for the Vikings so far, and positive yardage on each of them. Second down and 1. And this time it'll be Holman who fights forward, and Holman got back, maybe got half a yard. And it's going to be 3rd and 1. He needs the 41. They were at about the 42 and a half, and he got to the 42. So if that name sounds familiar, it was Holman. His brother, so this is Drew Holman. His brother was Cole Holman, who was a back for the Vikings for a couple of years. He played a lot of positions, and now Drew goes in under center, and he just pushes forward, and I don't know if he got it. The near official is not giving him a great spot, but he didn't have the angle. The far official is closer to the 41-yard line. This is going to be very close. They might pull out the sticks. We'll see if they measure. No, they're just going to say 4th down. So 4th down, they say Holman does not get the first down. So 4th and inches. The Vikings go right up the middle twice in a row, and Mountain View stands in there strong. Here comes a big play. They'll go back to the shotgun this time with Smith waiting to receive the snap, and Holman right beside him. Holman gets the snap. Holman's got it. He's got the first down. A little bit of pressure in the backfield from Mountain View. It looked like getting back there pretty quick was Mason Garcia, but Garcia couldn't get his hands on Holman, and Holman with a full head of steam is a little bit tough to handle. They had a little, before the game, they had on the scoreboard some seniors talking about different things, like, who would you call if you were getting attacked by a bear, and Holman was the answer. I don't know if it was a bear, but it was something like that. Like if you were, if you were in a fight, or if you were, in the wilderness, something like that, that if you needed a tough guy to come save you, that it was going to be Holman. So he's going to be the one that really gets down and tries to get that done. A false start called here. It's probably because his mom is the principal at Mill Creek Elementary, which the Mill Creek choir, the elementary school, sang the national anthem, and it was a great rendition for those kids. So it'll be 1st and 15 here for the Vikings. Their first backwards play of the day. Wasn't really a play, but we'll call it that. Smith looking to throw. He's got all day and finds his receiver in the Bermuda Triangle there. Blake Bishop was open, and he was in the middle of 3 different Mountain View receivers, but found the soft spot right there. Smith got it right where it needed to be, and a pickup of 10 yards. So a 10-yard pickup, 2nd and 5. So they get the penalty yardage back and a little bit more. They're on first down. 6:21 to go here. 2nd down and 5 from Middleton. Again, a chance, not a chance, a spot at State here on the line tonight. Lewis is going to get the handoff, and he's got some room on the right side. Tries to cut it back up, and really what looked like a promising play turns into only a game of 2 for Lewis. It's going to be 3rd down and roughly 3 yards here for Middleton. The Vikings are the only team in the state that is playing up a level. Technically, Middleton, a 5A school in all sports. Now you can petition up or down based on sport, not just by your whole school, how it used to be by the entire school, but now it can be by sport. Here's a run. It's going to be a shovel pass. One of those, just the quarterback kind of just passes it like a little basketball pass, and it goes right to number 7, Thompson, and he's got the first down. It's like a jet sweep pass. It's not a handoff, it's a toss. But back to Middleton petitioning up. No other team in the state has petitioned up for football, and Middleton has done it, and they are right here with a chance. They've been in 6A for 2 years. This will be year 3. If they're able to win tonight, they will have made it to state all 3 years up at the 6A level. Here comes a pass right side, and that is caught but blown up immediately. That was number 14, Colton Severa, on the reception. But that's one where you know you're going to get hit, and you do. He's knocked down at the 8-yard line, so a pretty decent pickup, about 4 yards. Should be second and about 6 here from, we'll say 5. They'll give him 5, we'll say 5. Sorry, not at the 8. That's the 13-yard line. Middleton's baseball team also petitioned up. They will be staying at the 6A level. Holman's going to get the handoff inside, and he only gets about a yard, maybe 2. I think they're going to spot him at the 11-yard line, so a pickup of 2. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 here. So Middleton will be back at the 5A level for basketball, so they'll be playing teams like Ridgeview, Columbia, Valley View, Emmett, Bishop Kelly. They'll be back in that league where they were for years and years before moving up to 6A, then going back down to 5A, but all the other sports are there in 5A except football and basketball. Here's another one of those sweet passes to Thompson, and Mountain View's all over it that time. He gets nothing. It's going to be 4th down, 4th and 3, and let's see if it's time for a Tyler Robinson field goal. This would be roughly a 27-yard field goal from this spot, and they are. They're going to bring out Robinson here on the field goal. So Robinson will boot it. Again, Robinson, we talked about it, a soccer player, but has been a great kicker in his first year. The snap is down, it's up, and Robinson, he nails that one. That would have been good from another 20 yards back for Tyler Robinson. That was a 28-yard field goal. And Middleton takes the first lead of the game, 3-0. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on IdahoSports.com.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
All right, welcome back. 3-0 Vikings after the Tyler Robinson field goal was up and good. That was a 28-yarder that probably would have been good from 48, if not more. That coming through at the 3:09 mark. So 3-0 our score. As Middleton's set to kick it off. Robinson will boot it here from the 40. We'll see if he can get it through the back of the end zone. This one, a good kick. This is going to land right at the 2-yard line. Good kick by Robinson. And they're going to stop him before the 20. And that's exactly what you want. If you're not going to kick it through the end zone, kick it just shy, force them to return it, and get them start before the 20-yard line. Great kick by Robinson, And good job by the Middleton kicking team coverage. So 1st and 10 Mountain View. The Mavericks got to come out with an answer here. So 1st and 10. 1st and 10. And they're going to run this one. A good gain on 1st down. So they had 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. A pickup of 4, so down to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Mountain View, or excuse me, 2nd and 6 Mountain View from that spot. And I believe we've got a hobbled Maverick right now. That looks to be number 74, Ellis Castleton. It doesn't look like he's hurt too badly, just kind of slowly hobbling off and had to scurry his way off the field. So 2nd and 6 here for Mountain View. One receiver to either side, and they're going to hand this one off, but nowhere to go. Wrapped up in the backfield, and the first one there for the Vikings was Toby Jones. Jones met the running back right at the 15-yard line and knocks him back, and let's see if they spot him right there at the 15. They will. So Jones, good stop there, a loss of 5. It'll be 3rd and 11. 3-0 Middleton. 2 receivers here to the near side for Mountain View, 2 up top, 1 back in the backfield. Looking to throw under some pressure. He rolls right, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds. A flag comes in, but he's shy of the yard to gain. And he'll be pushed out at the 22-yard line. That was thrown right in the area of a hold. It's 3rd and about 3rd and 4. I would imagine this is a punting situation for Mountain View. So if it is a hold, you would think Middleton will decline. It is a hold against Mountain View, and I believe Middleton has declined. So 2 men back to receive the punt for Middleton. It looks like that Sheets is, no, Derek Walker and Weston Mills back there. Last week, Weston Mills returned a kickoff about 75, 80 yards. Just an incredible momentum swinging play at the end of the game. Capital scored with 30 seconds left. All hope was gone for Middleton outside of returning the opening kickoff for a score, and that's exactly what they did. Middleton went down here the near sideline, did Weston Mills, and goes in for the score. They went for 2 and did not convert, as this punt is going to give Middleton another great drive starting field position. This one might be right at midfield. I think they'll put it at the, no, they will, right at midfield. So the Vikings will take over 1st and 10 right at midfield. Another short field. Last time they got it at the 38. This time at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10. So 2 straight 3-and-outs for Mountain View. That's not exactly what the doctor had ordered here in the quote-unquote playoff play-in game here tonight. This is one of many games on IdahoSports.com tonight. We are literally all over the state. We've got a couple games in East Idaho, a couple games in North Idaho, a couple games here. Smith going to go deep, and this one is incomplete. Threw a lot of contact, but I think it was both ways. That was intended for Cruz Thompson, but Thompson and the defender were both going at it with each other. I like the no call. Both were trying to get position, and rightfully so. That one incomplete. Pass was a little bit short, too. Just didn't have enough mustard on it, so 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Smith has Lewis to his right here on 2nd down. Lewis is going to get the handoff. Lewis trying to find a hole. Patient running there, and he gets about 4 yards down to the 41-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 6. 3rd and 6 here for the Vikings. Probably in 4-down territory right here. Most, even, you start getting into the college and NFL levels, you get in between the 40 and 50. And I think you'll hear other broadcasters say, what are the numbers here? Smith, short pass is caught by Bishop, and he drops it. That was a great defensive play by number 22, Gavin Draw, who laid a lick. That was a great play by Mountain View because that was a first down. And if it wasn't, if he gets stopped there around the 41, it's definitely area to go for it. Vikings gets a hold of this one, and this one is going to land right at the 15-yard line. And a good return here for Mountain View. It's going to be brought down by Weston Mills at the 30-yard line. So a Robinson punt, and the return by number 2, Kane Foy, and brought down by Weston Mills, and it is a 1st and 10 here for the Mavericks. This is a time, now if you're Mountain View, you got to take advantage. This is your best field position of the day. The ball's at the 30-yard line. The closest you've been is around the 27 so far here in this game, and you haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. The Mavericks, a perennial state tournament qualifier over the last couple of seasons. Usually a team that we see at the state tournament year in and year out. Middleton as well. Here's a pass left side. This one's caught and brought down right around the line of scrimmage. The ball came out, at least, and they're making it look like the ball came out. No indication from the officials. And they'll put up 2nd down. So not sure if there was a fumble or not, but that was Denton Wilson on the reception there. Last year, Mountain View and Middleton both played in the first round of the state tournament. Middleton had to go to Rigby, where they fell to the Trojans, which happens quite frequently, and that'll do it for the first quarter. So 1 quarter in the book, 3-0 our score. Middleton over Mountain View. But Mountain View had to go all the way up north to play Post Falls. They were one of the last teams in, Mountain View was. They go up to Post Falls and they knock off the Trojans 24-14, and then gave Meridian a heck of a game, losing 24-23 in the in the quarterfinals to Meridian. Meridian would go on to lose to Highland in the semifinals 20-14. But both of these teams looking to make it back to state. Their season ended in the playoffs, and both looking to get back there. Hey, let's go ahead and thank Meridian Plumbing. Meridian Plumbing is the Treasure Valley's top choice when it comes to your plumbing needs. For 40 years, Meridian Plumbing has been serving new home builds and remodels, farms, and businesses across the Treasure Valley. After your first call with Meridian Plumbing, it will be easy to see why thousands of customers return year in and year out for all of their plumbing needs. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Meridian Plumbing offers a no-charge dispatch fee. For your permanent plumber, the search for your permanent plumber is 1 call or click away, and that is to Meridian Plumbing. Choose the safe local plumber. Choose Meridian Plumbing. So here we go, start of the second quarter, and Mountain View has got a lot of room to run here, a 1st down and more. The Mavericks are across midfield down to the 45-yard line, and that's what Mountain View has been looking for so far, something to go offensively. And that time, Munson on the reception, and he's got a big pickup down to the 46-yard line. And Mountain View will waste no time. They get right back up to the line. They're ready to go. They'll hand this one off inside, and room to run down to about the 40. So a good pickup on 1st down, 6 yards, 2nd and 4 coming up. Looks like a Middleton player lost their helmet. Nothing injury related or malicious, but Ryan Lewis just got his helmet loose. Sorry, that's number 31. That's Russell Moulton. So he's got to come off for at least a play, running onto the field now. That was Gavin Mortensen who ran out. We'll see if Mortensen comes out after this one play. 2nd down and 4. Looking back over to the sideline is Nelson looking for the call. Nelson to his right has Gomez Ricks as the running back. 2 receivers to either side of the formation here for Nelson on 2nd and 4. They'll bring a man in motion across, back behind him. And they'll hand this one off, and nowhere to go, wrapped up after they'll give him maybe 1 yard. And we just talked about Gavin Mortensen coming in for the helmet being dislodged, and he might have earned himself a spot to stay on the field after that wrap-up stop after only a gain of 1. So this is about the spot of the field where Middleton decided to punt it from, and Mountain View has it right to that spot anyway. 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Middleton fans making a little bit of noise here. They're going to keep it on the ground. They got a 1st down and more. Lots of room to run. And across the 25-yard line, brought down right there. Great run by Munson. Or excuse me, that's Gomez Ricks. And Gomez Ricks with the 1st down. Mountain View knocking on the door of the red zone down to the 25-yard line. And they are right back on the line. They're wasting no time here. Getting up and ready to snap the ball. They want to go, go, go. No huddle offense here for the Mavericks. Another man in motion. They're going to look to throw. They've got a man open right side of the end zone. They don't see it. And this one's going to go out on the right side in a stop. That was thrown to Wilson on the right side. But I tell you what, on the right side of the field, Brody Munson got past his man there on the right side, and he was as open as Denny's out there, and they don't see him. They go on the swing pass, and maybe they saw something down there that we didn't see up here, but it sure looked like Munson was all alone out there. Instead, now it's 2nd and 9. Good stop there by the Vikings. They'll run this one up the middle, and another good stop on the ground for the Vikings that time. A pickup of maybe 1 or 2. I believe they're going to put him at the 23. They will be at the 23-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and about 8 here for Mountain View. 3rd down and 8 for the Mavericks. Eight and a half minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. Looking to throw, lots of pressure. They set up the screen. It's intercepted. It's intercepted right at the line of scrimmage by Middleton, and that's picked off by Holman. Holman with the pick. They were just trying to get rid of it. Was Nelson. He was just trying to get rid of it on the screen pass, trying that halfback screen as the offensive line lets everybody come, but Holman was right in the way, and Drew Holman with a pick, and the Vikings take over. So the best scoring opportunity for Mountain View today is ended by an interception by number 17, Drew Holman. So 1st and 10. So 1st and 10, Middleton after the turnover. They'll get the ball at the 30-yard line here. And this one's going to be given to Holman. He is still going. This carries defenders down with him down to the 37-yard line. Pickup of 7. So 2nd down and 3. See what the Vikings do here with potentially a down to play with. But they've had a lot of success on the ground so far, and they'll keep it that way. But, man, that Mountain View line with a tough play inside. A couple different Mavericks in on the stop. It looked like the first one there was number 8, Lucas Sokoli. Sokoli with the stop. And now it's 3rd and 2. And we saw Middleton really struggle to pick up a couple yards short earlier in the game. They still got Lewis in the backfield. When they really want some yardage, sometimes you see Holman come through there because he's really hard to bring down. They're going to throw this one. A short slant, and that one just not there to Bishop, a little in front. And here comes a very late flag, an extremely late flag in on this play. And it was a hard hit, but looked like a football hit, but the official must not have liked what he saw from his angle. You could tell he thought about it for a while. And this is going to be a personal foul. This is going to be an automatic first down here for Middleton. You can hear a Mountain View fan across the way not like the call.
Personal foul is called against the Mavericks. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So a first down for Middleton. They'll take it. Mountain View not extremely happy with the call, but sometimes it is what it is. But I believe that's only our second penalty so far today here. Second accepted penalty with 7:04 to go here till halftime. Both these teams taking up a lot of time on the ground. Another one of those sweet passes, and this is going to be a hold coming on Blake Bishop. So we just talked about no penalties, and then we get two in back-to-back plays. So this is going to come back 10 yards on the hold.
With the tackle. There is a flag on the play. Holding is called against the Vikings.
Middleton started off the year with a win against Nampa, a game that was played, originally set to play here, but if you'll remember, that was the weekend of the just absolute terrible smoke here in the Treasure Valley. That game got moved to Fruitland, just like a lot of games in the Boise and Meridian area got moved out to Homedale and such. Here's a deep pass right side, and he got a foot in, so it gets most of the penalty yardage back there on the far sideline. I believe that's outside. Number 22, Braden Stike, just tiptoes the line to stay in. But then Middleton followed that up with a loss to Madison, and then a loss that was on the road. So they went all the way to Rexburg and fall to the Bobcats there, and then they lose to Cuna, and then they back that up with 3 straight wins over Centennial, over Meridian in overtime, and then over Timberline. Here's another throw right side. This one complete to Thompson. Thompson's got room across the 40, and we'll see where they mark him out. Right at the 43, that should be just enough for a first down. So Thompson with the first down. Fresh set here for the Vikings. And then they followed up the season with 2 straight losses. A tough game against Rocky Mountain, falling 46-17. And then, of course, the game last week, the loss to Capital, 28-27 in the Heartbreaker. As for Rocky Mountain, Mountain View started off the year over at the Rocky Mountain Rumble in Pocatello with a win over Woods Cross, Utah, game that I was there in the ICCU Dome there in Pocatello for that game at Idaho State, where they knocked off a Utah foe. Then they lost to Meridian 46-34, and then lost to Rocky Mountain 61-7. Lost to Cuna 21-20, and then lost to Eagle 52-14. So Mountain View went through a rough stretch on the schedule where they lost a couple of games in a row, but have recovered nicely here to end the season. Here's a pass. Now it's picked off, and this is going to be a house call. A slow pass is picked off, and that's going to be Bo Stewart, who is going to go all the way. Bo Stewart, 70-yard pick 6 for Mountain View. He jumped the route, read it like a book, and takes it all the way back. And just like that, it's 6-3, extra point pending. Middleton was making some moves down the field, but that one a little too soft on the throw when it was read perfectly by Stewart, and the house call is made. Plays like that can help get you into the state tournament. When it's not going offensively, you really need that defense to step up here. And with 5:51, a 70-yard pick 6 has put Mountain View on top. Here comes the extra point off the foot of Guerrero, and that one is up, and that one is good. So with 5:51, so 5:51 to go. a 70-yard pick six.
We do have one score update from around the valley. Rocky Mountain currently leads over Eagle 14-0.
So 7-3, the score here now as Mountain View intercepts that one and goes all the way to the house. And the Mountain View offense threw an interception on their last drive, and then the Mountain View offense throws an interception on the last drive, and then they respond by intercepting a pass on the next drive for Middleton, and they take it all the way back to the house. That was a huge play, and one that Mountain View needed because Middleton was going down the field. Middleton does get the ball, if you'll remember, at the half. So Weston Mills will be back to receive this kickoff. The last time he returned a kickoff, he took it to the house himself late in that game against Capital. So Guerrero will boot this one away for Mountain View. Let's see if they kick it to Mills' side or if they go to the right. Sometimes you'll see when a player is dangerous like that, they'll go away from him. Here's the kick, and they don't. This is going to go to Mills right at the 5. Mills is down to the 15, across the 20. He's got a hole. Weston Mills at the 30. He's going to be wrapped up and thrown down to the ground at the 32-yard line. He had some space to run, but closing in there was Sokoli. And if he doesn't, Mills might have hit the afterburners and busted through that, but he's brought down here. 5:44 to go. 7-3 our score. Mountain View on top.
Vikings will start 1st and 10.
Thanks for joining us here. For the last week of the regular season, hard to believe that we're already done, and the state tournament starts next week. So, again, just like always, we will have those brackets for you as soon as we know stuff. We will have it up on our website, brackets, games, schedules, everything like that for all games, all classifications. We will have that, and of course, as this one is run up the middle by Holman for a couple of yards down to the 36. We'll be all over the state next week with state tournament games. We will be as many places as possible next week with either video or audio broadcast coverage. So be sure to tune in to the website. Again, IdahoSports.com. Obviously, you're there right now watching this, but come back to the website Sunday and Monday for all that information as soon as we get it. Here's the throw right side, and again, just dangerous throws as that one's incomplete. The ball just kind of hanging around as that was intended for Bishop, and again, just hanging in the air a little bit long with white jerseys around, and looked like that one might have had an opportunity to be picked off as well. So now all of a sudden it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 6 here for the Vikings. 5:08 to go here in the second quarter. Smith takes a snap. He's got Thompson. Good pass to Thompson, but he can't get through the final defender. He's wrapped up and thrown to the ground by number 44, Mason Garcia. And Garcia saves a first down conversion. There was nobody there for Thompson except for Garcia. And Garcia just a great wrapped up stop, and Middleton will have to punt their first 3 and out today. So Tyler Robinson standing at his 25-yard line to punt this one away. And trying to get everybody on the field where they belong. Finally getting Lewis out here. Lewis is standing, or Robinson right at the 25. Good snap. This one a high kick end over end. It's going to drop right at the 34-yard line. It stopped, and we got a very late flag coming in from the head official. We'll see what the call is here. Just sometimes if it's anything, it might be a hold on Mountain View. But those punts are wasn't a very deep punt, but it can be dangerous because it lands right in the middle, and it is. Oh, this is a hold against Middleton. But the ball drops in the middle of all the coverage, and sometimes that hits the back of one of those blockers for Mountain View or for the receiving team and becomes a live ball. But now the fumble, or excuse me, after the hold, the ball at the 45-yard line, the best starting field position today for Mountain View. So a pick six, a 3 and out, and all of a sudden Mountain View a chance to really add to their lead right now. Here's a run right side and right up the middle, some room to run into the second level. Still, the ball comes out, and it's going to be recovered by Mountain View. That was a great chance for Middleton to maybe get the ball back. The ball comes out as running down the field was Gomez Ricks, and he comes hobbling off, but it looked like Munson was just in the right place at the right time and falls right on the fumble. And that's one that Middleton would love to have back for multiple reasons, for letting him go so far down the field and then for maybe being able to get the fumble. 1st and 10, Mountain View on the move. Here's a handoff and cutting inside and falling forward for a good gain. Pickup of 5 down to the 29-yard line.
Jacob Allen with the run up the middle. Drew Holman in on the tackle. 2nd down and 6.
Mountain View looking over to the sideline for the score. They've got 3 different guys over there with vests on and numbers and signs. You know, you see that in college a lot. Surely 1 or 2 is a decoy, and there's something to be learned from one or the other, depending on what somebody else does. Here's a handoff inside, and they're going to go right, bouncing into, and inside the red zone goes number 15, Jacob Allen, on a good run there. And now all of a sudden, Mountain View putting on the pressure. The Mavericks really struggled to get anything going, but Middleton didn't take advantage of their opportunities, and now Mountain View is taking advantage of theirs now after the turnover and now the short field, and they are knocking on the door once again. Ball is on the 16-yard line, 1st and 10 Mavericks. Again to Allen. Allen falls forward for a pickup of 1, 2, 3, 4 yards, we'll say. 2nd and 6 coming. On a cold night here in Middleton, the first couple of games of the year, you're just praying for days like these where it's cold, but then you actually get here and you're saying, oh, maybe those warm days weren't so bad. Here goes a throw left side. It's caught and brought down inside the 5. That one is caught by Kelby Rice, and that's going to be a 1st down. So 1st and goal coming up here for Mountain View. As they look, a 2-score lead would be huge here for the Mavericks. Middleton would really need to push it and score before halftime. Approaching the 2-minute mark. They'll go left side on the run and going in for the score. Touchdown, Mountain View. That's Valentin Gomez Ricks with the score. So with 2:05 to go, a 5-yard run by number 4, Valentin Gomez Ricks punches it in. And it is 13-3, Mountain View with the extra point to come. Guerrero lines up, and he gets that one up and in. It is 14-3. Just like that. And now it's a 2-score game. So a defensive score and then a short field converted. Middleton had a couple of short fields and they weren't able to take advantage of it. Mountain View finally gets themselves a short field and they do take advantage, go right in for the score. Just a short 55-yard drive. Only took a couple of plays for the Mavericks to get down the field. They did fumble the ball on the play, but were not able to convert. So now Middleton will have 2 minutes and 5 seconds to try and get something here. Again, we will be broadcasting as many games as possible next week. Last year we were up there for that Mountain View Post Falls game, and if either of these teams hit the road next week, be sure to check back. We can't be everywhere, but we're going to be as many places as we can, again, with either a video broadcast or an audio broadcast. All of those broadcasts will have broadcasters there on site. It won't just be a silent camera. It'll be a full-fledged broadcast that you'll be able to watch and enjoy, or listen to and enjoy. as Weston Mills takes this one right at the 5-yard line again. Mills wants to go left side. Mills got a hole here. He's across the 30 again and down to the 34. So back-to-back returns by Mills of over 20 yards. This one a 25-yard return. No, this was a 30-yard return. He caught it at the 5. That's a 30-yard return by Mills. They're actually going to spot him at the 33. So we'll back that up and say a 28-yard return. With 1 minute and 58 seconds to go, Middleton got to put something together here as we near the end of the half. First and 10, Smith in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers here to the near side. They're going to run it left, nowhere to go, spinning out of it, trying to get somewhere, but going to be wrapped up and gets maybe 2 yards on that. They're going to mark him at the 35. So down to the 35-yard line. Second down and 8. Clock is running here. 1 minute, 34 seconds to go. Smith looking to throw, and he finds his man in the flat. He was wide open. Just the touch wasn't there on that throw. That was Harper that was out there, and Harper probably gets a first down on that, but just a little bit over the head of Harper. Look a little too strong coming out of his hands. So now 1:28 to go here. Now Mountain View is thinking about calling a timeout if they get a stop here, and they want the ball back. Smith looking to throw. He's going to be wrapped up in the backfield and sacked. Huge sack in the backfield. That's number 6. Bill Mutua. Mutua with the stop. And now Middleton will punt. I'm surprised Mountain View is not calling a timeout right here. And here we go. Now we get a timeout. I thought that they would have called that a long time ago and tried to get the ball back. And, man, just not great protection. And Smith had plenty of time back there to throw the ball, just didn't throw it. And you saw that last week in the game here. They went for 2, and Smith, the play was a rollout to the right side. They brought Blake Bishop along the back end of the end zone and trying to throw it to Bishop, but the throw was late. Bishop had position, but just a little bit too much time holding on to the football. If he got it out earlier, maybe you get the ball to him in time, but wasn't able to do so. And right there, holding the ball a little bit too long. You got to get rid of it there on 3rd down, and a big loss. About a 7-yard loss there on 3rd down. And now Middleton forced to punt again. So Tyler Robinson really got to get his leg into this one to try and flip the field, because Mountain View can take advantage of a short field. We just saw him do it. The offense was slow, but it seems like the Maverick offense is awake now, and they'd love to get one more crack at it. Robinson, this is a good kick. This one's going to be fair caught at the 40-yard line. And so the punt is caught there at the 40. So 60 yards of turf in front of Mountain View here. So 1st and 10 for Mountain View from that spot. They'll pretty much have to keep it in the air. They do have 2 timeouts in their pocket. So they can go on the ground, but they need to hurry up. Middleton's going to get the ball in the second half to start. But they don't want to be down 3 scores going into halftime. Looking to throw, rolls right, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Brought down by number 24, Noah Bunker on the stop. Bunker just got on for a piggyback ride and didn't let go. And Nelson is sacked for the first time today. And that's a huge play, because that really disrupts everything and might change what Mountain View does here, as they didn't call a timeout and they're taking their time here. It's going to be an over 30-second play here, as now we're under 30 seconds to go. More pressure, looking to throw, rolls right, and nowhere to throw it. He's going to run it out of bounds. with 20 seconds to go. It's going to be third down, third and about 3 yards to go from the 47-yard line. So a good recovery that time by the quarterback, Nelson, who gets some running yards back after getting sacked on first down. So third down here for Middleton, or for Mountain View. I hate it when it's two M teams playing each other. Mountain View and Meridian and Middleton. That's always a tongue twister. Here we go. Looking to throw, looking on the left side under some pressure. He's not able to be brought down, still rolling. He's going to throw deep, and this one is caught. It's caught at the 15-yard line, way downfield with 10 seconds to go. A huge reception by Munson. Munson goes over top of Kason McIntosh and gets the grab. He had all day to throw, good protection. He had to move around in the pocket. That was a great job in the pocket by Nelson to stay up. He was grabbed by two arms of a Middleton defender and didn't go down, never scrambled, just stayed with what his offensive line gave him and goes deep down the sideline. Might have got away with a little bit of a push, but just a great throw right on the money is caught. And now this should get Mountain View at least in a field goal situation. They do have one more timeout. They burned a timeout on that play, so they can try maybe one, at least one, maybe two plays and take a shot to the end zone. The ball's right on the 15-yard line here on the near hash for the Mavericks with 10 seconds to go in the half. Another good crowd here at Middleton as usual. Looks like it's the student section dresses up for games. I saw some schools having PJ night. I think it was Centennial, and I'm not about that. That'd be cold on a night like tonight. But Middleton, they're in construction uniforms gear. Nelson looking to throw. He's wasting a lot of time back there, still on his feet. He's going to have to hurry. 3, 2, 1. This is going to be the last play of the half. And he goes to the end zone. It is knocked away in the backfield. It's knocked away by the defense, and that's a huge mistake by Mountain View and Nelson. Nelson should have got rid of that ball and at least gotten a field goal opportunity, but stayed on his feet, wasted all the time on the clock, and throws the ball into the end zone where there was really no hope. And just like that, it's 14-3. Middleton survives the threat. Mountain View had a great golden opportunity, and they squander it. And so the score will be 14-3 heading into the halftime break. We'll take a quick break and be back with the halftime report right after this.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up. Toyota. Toyota has 22 all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, more than any other brand. Toyota. Let's go places.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Idaho Sports Nation, Ideal, Idaho's education savings program, is a proud partner of IdahoSports.com and an ideal way to save for college. Did you know it only takes $25 to start an Ideal 529 savings account and you get tax benefits? There is no better time than today to start saving for college expenses for you or for a loved one. Information and a full disclosure statement, including risks, terms, and conditions, can be found online. Please read carefully before investing. idsaves.org. Go save for college and go Idaho student athletes.
Dear all-wheel drive, let's show the road what we've got. Yours, Toyota. Toyota has 22 all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, more than any other brand. Toyota. Let's go places.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
But isn't vaping safer than smoking cigarettes?
Since 2019, there have been 2,807 cases of lung injury and 68 deaths caused by vaping. Kids as young as 17 have had to get lung transplants due to damage caused by vaping. Vapes contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing chemicals that can cause permanent damage to your health. Be smart, don't start.
It can be a lot, trying to figure out how to make it. How to dream big and to wonder, what if? Because no matter where you are in life, if you don't know what's possible in Idaho, it's hard to keep asking, what if? Which is exactly why Next Steps Idaho was created, with everything from smart tools that help you figure out careers you might be suited for, to training and education options for you. So keep asking what if at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Welcome back, everybody. Halftime here at Middleton. Our score is 14-3. Let's tell you how we got there. Middleton scored at first in the first quarter at the 3:09 mark. A 28-yard Tyler Robinson field goal made it 3-0, and that was all that Middleton was able to get on the board in the first half. In the second quarter, Mountain View was able to intercept a ball at the 30-yard line of Mountain View and take it back 70 yards to the house. It was number 17, Bo Stewart, the sophomore, who went into the end zone for a huge pick six, made it 7-3 Mountain View. Middleton comes out and goes 3 and out on their next drive, is forced to punt. Mountain View goes right down the field, a 55-yard drive. They got great field position, took it all the way down, and was capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run by number 4, Valentin Gomez-Ricks, who punched it in for Mountain View. It's a very, very young Mountain View team. Not the Mountain View teams that we're used to seeing where it's just completely dominate their way to state. The way it looks right now, the winner of this, obviously the winner of this game goes to state. The loser of this game is more than likely not going to go. If you check out Brandon Bainey's bracketology on the homepage, if you go right to the homepage of IdahoSports.com, you can't miss it. You see Brandon's face right in the middle of the screen. He breaks down just about every scenario you can think of for all classifications. But for you that are more interested here in 6A games, he breaks that down, and you can see a projected bracket. So he just went, if everything went as chalk, this is what would happen. And if you look at that bracket, Middleton would be the West number 4 and would play Timberline they would play Timberline, who was the West number 5. And that would be a home game for Middleton. So a lot on the line here for Middleton if they could win this game. If Mountain View wins it, they would probably be in a very similar situation. They would more than likely be, again, we're not sure exactly where they'd be. They probably would be a little bit lower. My guess is probably the West 6, which would be an away game, more than likely against Madison or Highland. But right now, neither one of these teams is probably getting an at-large bid. Again, there's only 2 at-large bids in the 6A classification. And right now, those 2 at-large bids, Owyhee lost to Timberline last night. So Timberline is officially in. So Timberline's in. Owyhee had a max prep rating of 18.1. And that would be the second highest at-large bid. Right now, Highland has a rating of 19.7. So those are the first 2 teams out that do not have an automatic bid, Highland and Owyhee. So right now, those 2 teams are in. Owyhee did lose last night to Timberline, but Timberline has an 18 rating, so just 0.1 difference. And so really probably not going to change the needle too much in that regard in terms of who gets the automatic, or, who would – how far Owyhee will fall. Middleton has a 12.3 max prep rating. Listen, Middleton loses to Capital. You can't do that. They lost to Capital last week. Capital right now has a 2.8 rating. That is the second lowest rating in the state. Only Centennials is lower. Centennial is a negative 14.7. They are winless. Capital, that was only their second win of the season. They had only beaten Centennial and then beat Middleton. That was a massive loss because, I would have to go back and look and see where Middleton was ranked the previous week, but it wasn't a 12.3. That was a huge loss, and a loss there really hurt their score. They could have been in a position for an at-large bid. This happened in Middleton a couple years ago. They played CUNA in that crossover game here and lost to CUNA. They were still able to get into the state tournament because they had such a good max prep rankings that they were still able to get in. They go up to Lewiston. They win at Lewiston in the first round of the playoffs. But this year, the score is just not there for either team. Mountain View just 3-5. Mountain View has a 10.7 rating. So really just not looking good for either squad. I guess I should have tried to put the graphic up there for it. But you can look on the homepage of IdahoSports.com. You can go read that article and see what happens. You can see the projected bracket. If this score holds, this will obviously change up what the bracket looks like. Let's give you a rundown of some scores around the Treasure Valley right now. Valley View leads Nampa 12-7. Bishop Kelly over Emmett 14-0. Boise leads Centennial 20-10. Meridian leads CUNA 13-7. And that would give Meridian an automatic bid. Now that would more than likely knock CUNA out because CUNA also has a 12.7 rating. So that game is a do or die as well. Bora with a 7-6 lead over Capital. Now that would be the ultimate. That would be the ultimate wham. So if Capital were able to upset Bora and win that game, Capital would get an automatic bid with a very low rating, but they get the auto bid. Bora right now sitting at a 20.1 rating. So it would depend who drops more, Bora or Owyhee, because right now Bora is ahead of Highland and Owyhee. And so it all depends. Highland playing Madison tonight. This is not done for the other Treasure Valley teams. I mean, there is a lot. If you're Owyhee, you're sitting there and you're sweating. You didn't win last night. Either one of those two teams, Owyhee or Timberline, knew that they were going to be trying to sweat out somebody doing something in hopes that they could get in if they were to lose last night. Owyhee falls. Right now, they are that last team in, but we're going to see what happens tonight. There's a lot that could happen because even if Capital does win that game, you never know. Does Bora drop far enough to fall out of those top two? Does it's realistic that you could see Bora, Highland, and Owyhee all lose tonight. And where do they all settle when the dust comes to, when the dust settles? Where is everybody at? Highland plays the third-ranked Madison Bobcats. You got to think a loss there is not going to hurt too much. Owyhee loses to a team that's essentially equal to them. You got to think it won't hurt too much. And then there is Bora sitting at 20.1. If they lose, that's a big, big loss. And they're only 2 points ahead of Owyhee right now. So we'll have to see what happens. Again, if you didn't hear us at the beginning of the broadcast, we talked about a little bit of the drama between what the Owyhee football team and their status. They played a player that had not met what the District 3 board thought counted as 10 practices. The player played football last year, played rugby this year. Some injuries caused this player to really need to come out and play. He plays. They say he didn't actually have enough practices, so they were going to make Owyhee forfeit their final 2 games. That would have moved Owyhee. That would have made a huge mess of everything. That would have changed what this game was. It would have been Middleton versus CUNA instead of Mountain View. It would have made Boise being able to play to potentially get into state. It was going to make huge changes to everything. There was even graphics on social media talking about Rocky Mountain or Mountain View playing Meridian that were going out. People were, they had bought into it. The IHSAA ends up reversing it on a petition from Owyhee. And one thing that I read in the interview that Mike Laglama, the reporter for the Statesman, interviewed Chad Williams, the IHSAA executive director, and Chad had said something to the effect of the board was uncomfortable with punishing kids for a parent's decision, or not a parent's, but an adult decision. And so there were punishments handed down. Coach Burton for the Storm was suspended for the rest of the year. Owyhee was fined as a school $1,500, and there may be potential consequences next year, maybe some sanctions or probation items. So curious to see what shakes out there. And here's my thought. Yes, that was a decision by an adult, and kids shouldn't be punished for it, right? You don't want those Owyhee kids punished. But what about this? This is if I'm playing the devil's advocate, what about the kids on the other side that had followed all the rules, that may have been in a similar situation that they had not met all the practices? They kept a player out because he didn't meet the practice requirement, and then they lose that game. And they knew if they had player X in the game, they would have won the game. What about all those teams that did it the right way? That's where I struggle with what happened. Was it's not fair to those kids that follow. Now what do? I can just break the rules, and I can go complain to the IHSAA and say, no, I don't like this. And it just sets a dangerous precedence. That is my opinion on it. I don't know what I would have chosen. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if that player really affected the game. Did he make a difference? Is he the reason they won? I don't know. But then you keep out a team that, this would have put Boise in a situation where they then could qualify to go to state with a win. You take a team that followed the rules, and they don't get a chance to play, but a team that didn't follow the rules does. It's just a hairy situation. It might be fair to some kids, but it's not to others. It's just, I guess at the end of the day, you broke the rules. You face the consequences. You got to lay in the bed that you made, and it stinks, but it is what it is. And I guess I'll stop talking about it. That would be my opinion on it at the end of the day, because you start doing stuff, it just becomes unfair to someone, but then it's not fair to the others. It just, it creates a mess. So either way, it was a messy week. It was an interesting week, a twisty week, but everything is where it is now, and Owyhee could potentially get in. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Both of these teams here today are looking for that ticket to punch. Middleton needs to answer. Mountain View really struggled offensively. They threw an interception inside their 20-yard line earlier, and Middleton just kept holding on to this 3-0 lead. And you thought to yourself, maybe that's enough right now. Maybe that's all they could possibly need here is just 3 runs. Or 3 runs, thinking the World Series, 3 points, but that is not all that you need, as Mountain View got the pick 6, and that really seemed to wake up the Mavs team, the offense and the defense, because they score that touchdown, they come out, and they immediately get a 3 and out. So a great answer. They get the 3 and out at Middleton, they go down and score. So a really good end of the half for Mountain View. So about 90 seconds until the opening kickoff of the second half. We'll take a quick break and be back with the second half here on IdahoSports.com.
Hello?
I was in an accident.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had my seatbelt on.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Second half about to get underway here from Middleton. Mountain View will boot it away. Back to receive for the Vikings again is Sheets and Mills. As we get things started here, again, about 24 minutes away from crowning a team into the state tournament. I guess it's not crowning, but punching a ticket to state officially for one of these teams. As Mountain View ready to boot it away. Here comes the kick. It's going to go back to Mills right around the 5-yard line once again. Mills will take it from there, and he's tripped up around the 25 but stumbles forward down to about the 35-yard line is where they'll spot him. So a good return by Mills once again. Again, another 30-yard return. He's been able to do that consistently. All 3 kickoffs he's returned have landed around the 5, and he's gotten down to around the 35 or 33-yard line, somewhere in there. He does it once again, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Middleton there. The Vikings got to come out with an answer right now. There's really no time to waste right now. So 1st and 10 Vikings. They're going to go right side with it as Lewis, and he is stopped. Only a gain of 2. And Mountain View's defense has not given up much on the ground. Middleton has not been able to pull off any chunk plays at all offensively. Everything has been just short little pickups on that field goal drive. They were able to get 7, 8-yard gain plays. They had one run or one pass play on the crossing route where they picked up a good chunk of yards, and on that jet sweep pass where they picked up a chunk, but really no huge explosive plays. And here's another run to the left side. Here's a good one, though, right on cue. As I say, they can't get anything going. They get about 7 yards down here, and they're going to be a yard shy. It's going to be 3rd and 1. So the Vikings in good position. We'll see if they're not able to get it if they decide they want to go for it. 3rd and 1 here. This is a position sometimes you see Holman come out to run the ball as Lewis comes off the field, and Holman is in the backfield now. Holman is actually in the Wildcat formation, and he's got 2 blockers to his right side, including defensive player Toby Jones. They're going to bring a man in motion across, and Holman's going to keep it. Holman's got a hole. Holman up the right side. No one's with him. He's at the 20. He might go all the way down to the 10 and goes on his feet, still dive for the end zone. Did he get it? No, he goes out at the 1-yard line. Drew Holman, what a run on 3rd and 1 on the Wildcat, and a great job by the wide receiver. He kept going and took the defender with him. If the defender turns around, he could come back and get Holman, but the defender just kept with the receiver, never turned around to look to see what was going on. And we say no offensive explosive plays for Middleton. They come right out with one. Same formation. Holman under center. He's going to try and go up the middle, and the ball comes out, and it's going to be fallen on by Middleton. That one's going to be picked up by number 42, Gavin Mortensen. But, man, what a heck of a few minutes. So Holman trying to sneak it up the middle. They gave it the old tush push, and the ball came out, and Mortensen was just in the right place at the right time. And now Holman will do it again. Again, they've got two quasi fullbacks to the right. Holman gets it. He's going to go right side. Holman's into the end zone for the touchdown. Holman punches it in from 1 yard out here at the 10:07 mark. They're going to say that was 2 yards. So a short run, and that'll bring out Robinson for the extra point. Robinson already. He'll line it up and boot this one up, and it is good. Robinson still perfect on the season as Middleton. That is what they needed. No touchdowns so far today, and they come out and go right down the field to make it 14-10. The score here with 10:07 to go in the third quarter. Let's take a quick second here to thank Meridian Plumbing. They're your Treasure Valley's top choice when it comes to your plumbing needs. For 40 years, Meridian Plumbing has been serving new home builds and remodels, farms and businesses across the Treasure Valley. After your first call with Meridian Plumbing, it will be easy to see why thousands of customers return year in and year out for all their plumbing needs. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Meridian Plumbing offers a no-charge dispatch fee. The search for your permanent plumber is one call or click away, and that is to Meridian Plumbing. Choose the safe local plumber. Choose Meridian Plumbing. And I tell you, having a no-charge dispatch fee, that's great. I had a guy once come out to tell me I had a problem with my microwave, and I learned a lesson. I probably shouldn't have called somebody to fix a microwave. I tried to fix it on my own. I couldn't do it. I looked them up. They're like $300, so I said, I'll just see if somebody could fix it. He comes out, steps in my house, and says, yeah, we actually don't really fix microwaves because, you know, the what you're going to pay to fix it is going to be about $300, and so you just buy a new one. And I said, oh, okay, thank you for that. And he'll go, okay, here you go. Here's your charge. He charged me $100 to tell me that my microwave was broken. So I was like, geez, man. And so it's good to know if you call Meridian Plumbing out for something, they will come, tell you how much it'll cost, tell you what they're going to do, and then they'll, if you're like, no thanks, then there's no harm, no foul. You don't have to pay them for doing nothing. So be sure the next time you need a plumber that it's Meridian Plumbing. This kick by Robinson's going to go into the end zone, and it's a touchback. Good job by Robinson to get that one into the end zone. So Mountain View will bring it out to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Mavericks will start. The Mavericks did well with the short field when they had it. We've yet to see them go on one of these full-length drives. We'll see if they can do it right here, leading 14-10. But that was one that Middleton really needed, and they do get it done there on that drive. Drew Holman did it pretty much all by himself. Oh, you know, with some help from his offensive line. At halftime, Rocky Mountain leads Eagle 21-0. Bora leads Capital 14-12. Meridian over Cuna 13-10. Boise over Centennial 27-10. Here comes a run, and some good blocking there brings up a good gain of about, let's call it 8. For Gomez Ricks, he gets down to the 28-yard line. It'll be second down and 2 yards from Mountain View. Two receivers here to the near side for Nelson. Nelson's going to keep this one on the ground. They go right side, bumping off a one of his blockers, and still going forward for the first down is Gomez Ricks.
Gomez Ricks again with the carry.
So first down.
Mavericks will pick up first down.
For Mountain View.
Ball on their own 32-yard line.
Job for the matchup here on the near side between Mills and Noy. We'll see if they go to it. They don't. And here's a run up the middle. Lots of room to run and another first down. Mountain View is just starting to eat up the ground game right now. Neither team really going to the air. We saw them go deep at the end of the half, did Mountain View on that one play. But outside of that, neither team really airing it out. Well, both teams have thrown an interception. Both of them were on short throws. Nobody really testing the high airways unless they desperately need to. So it'll be first down here for Mountain View. Again, two receivers split, one to either side. They'll bring one in motion around, and they're just going to keep it on the ground again. Why not? Don't fix if it ain't broken. And they get to midfield to pick up a 4. And just with ease, Mountain View is able to pick up a couple of yards each play right now.
Gain of 4 on the play, second down.
So second down, 2nd and 6 here. Right at midfield. Two receivers stacked here to the near side, but they won't throw it. They'll keep it on the ground. This one's only going to pick up 1.5. We'll say 2. It looks like they're going to spot it at the 48-yard line. So it'll be third down and about 4 yards to go. Third down and 4. This is that no man's land. Depending on the team, you'll see a punt or them go for it on 4th down if they get there. Big play here for the Middleton defense. Big play here for the Mountain View offense. Just a big play in general for this game and for a trip to the state tournament. Nelson didn't like what he saw. Looks back over to the sideline for the play call. They're changing it up. He's got his palm stretched out. The hand comes up from the official. Time running out on the time clock here. Under 5, he's got to snap it. He finally does so, and he's going to be sacked. The ball comes out. The ball is out. Who has it? I think Mountain View does, but it doesn't matter. It's 4th down, and that was the defensive play the Vikings were looking for. So 4th down here, really no decision to be made. It's definitely going to be a punt here for Mountain View. If they got no gain, they might have gone for it, but a sack on the blind side for the Vikings dislodges the ball. Nelson's able to fall on it.
Walker and Mills back to return the punt.
And recovers, and the punt will come here from Mountain View. Jacob Allen will boot it away for Mountain View. Walker and Mills back to receive the punt for Middleton. This kick is going to go right to Mills, and Mills is going to dance around. Mills is across the 35. Mills has got an angle, and another good return by Weston Mills. He's out across the 45-yard line. Another good return. That about a 20-yard return by Weston Mills, who continues to get no more or no less than 20 yards per return for Mills. Again, Weston Mills returned a kickoff last week, about 75 yards for a touchdown. He's got a couple of pick sixes in his career. Last year he had a couple. Had one in his first varsity game against Rocky Mountain. Had another one against Thunder Ridge here at home. 1st and 10 Vikings now. They've got a short field to work with. And they're going right back to the well of Drew Holman in the backfield with the ball. And Holman's going to get it, go right side. He's looking for a block, and he just plows through. He's still going, and he's got the first down. He should have the first down. They're going to mark him a yard shy. They're going to put him at the 45. But Holman is feeling it right now as they're just going Wildcat right here, going old 2005 Miami Dolphins. with the Wildcat formation. Holman going to get it again, and Holman's going to do the same thing, and he absolutely shoves the defender down. Gavin Draw was told to take a seat by Holman on that one. Stiff-armed him down and gets the first down. And a first down for the Vikings here as they now are flipping the script here in the third quarter with under 5 minutes to go, as they want to try to come out here and take the lead right back. And they're going to keep it with Holman in here and everybody up there to the far side, up top. They bring a man in motion, and somebody moved early on the line for Middleton. Way too early on that, and that changes things up now. 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10.
5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
But right now, trying to see if Smith is out there. Smith is not out there. He is still on the sideline. So they're going to go with Holman right now. The adjustment right now by Coach Brock seems to be working for the Vikings, and just keeping the ball on the ground with Drew Holman. Holman's going to go up the middle, and he stumbles forward, only picks up a couple. 4 yards. We'll actually only give him 3, so now it's 2nd and 12. So really, having a penalty on first down changes up everything with the drive. If you're able to pick up 3 yards on 1st and 10, hey, no problem. We can go out here on 2nd and 7, pick up another 3 and make it 3rd and 4. But now on 2nd and 12 on a 3-yard pickup, you get another 3. It's 3rd and 9. It's a totally different story. And they do abandon that formation, and Smith back in the shotgun now. Smith looking to throw, and he goes to Bishop. And Bishop, very similar play to we saw earlier. He's got a couple of yards on this one. Pickup of 6 yards, pickup of 6. So it's going to be third and about 7 here. 3rd and 7 will be the down and distance for Middleton. Big play here for the Vikes. I think that if they can, they'd be happy getting 3 or 4 here and making it a manageable 4th down position. And Holman's going to run it. Holman's going to go forward, and here comes a flag now. This might change everything, as this is probably going to be a hold. And he didn't get the first down. He got down to the 35-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 2, but this is going to change it up here. This is going to be a hold. So it's going to be a 3rd down and, 17 now, I think, is what it'll be. So great job by the Mavericks of getting back there. You know, sometimes you say, hey, the offense, why'd you do something dumb like that? And you say, well, it's because the defense got themselves in such good position that I had to hold. I had no other choice. I'd rather have a 3rd and 17 than a 4th and 10. And that's kind of where they're at right now. That Mountain View line gave up a lot of yards there to Holman, but has made some good adjustments here. Have the Mavs, and they've been keeping it in where it needs to be. Coach Compton for Mountain View doing a good job. Changing things up. There's a deep pass, and that is incomplete, knocked away from Bishop. Bishop was cutting across the middle, and it was knocked away by Draw. And so this will bring out a punt. So a very promising drive for the Vikings. Gets inside Mountain View territory, but penalties really squander the opportunity for potentially a very long field goal or a 4th down opportunity to go for it. And so Robinson will now have to punt. Right now he stands at his own 36-yard line, ready to boot this one away. Robinson, good hang time on this one. It's going to drop and take a great bounce, a great Middleton bounce. This is going to go inside the 5 and down to the 4-yard line. A beautiful piece of kicking there by Robinson as it took a great bounce. It was a little bit short, but it took the great bounce and inside the 5. And that's all you can ask for from your punter, is to get us flip the field for the defense. And Robinson does just that as it's down to the 4-yard line. Again, I said Robinson played soccer for the last couple of years, played soccer this year too, but really over the summer, really worked on his kicking game, attended a couple of kicking and punting camps over the summer to get better, and you saw it pay off dividends right there as that one got inside the 5-yard line. Good hang time too. It allowed his team to get back there and down the ball. So it'll be 1st and 10 Mountain View. They'll have it in the back of, well, the shadow of their own goalpost. Middleton looking to maybe put some pressure here and maybe sneak 2 points out of this thing. Nelson waits the snap. They'll hand it off right side, and a couple of yards is going to be picked up by Gomez Ricks. And let's see, they'll give him the 7-yard line, so a pickup of about 3. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7 here. My cameraman is Lewis Johnson, and he did not dress for the occasion today. He is doing every dance in the book to try and keep himself warm. It is cold up here on the top of the box here at Middleton as the wind is blowing. I got a jacket, a hoodie, and a long sleeve shirt. Let me just rub it in to Lewis a little bit more, if you don't mind. 2nd down, looking to throw, into pressure, running out of his end zone. He gets free. He's going to get close to a 1st down. I think he's got it. I think he's out of bounds right at the 14-yard line. That long stride of a run does get Nelson enough for the 1st down. That was a dangerous spot to be in as he was under pressure in his end zone, gets out of it and gets a 1st down. So a little bit of breathing room here for the Mavericks, but they were going to run this ball anyways. That's what the Mavs have been doing, and that's what they're going to continue to do here as they lead at 14-10 with 1.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Just 2 receivers split, and again, another handoff, this time to the left, and room to run. They're going to be brought down at the 20, so a pickup of 6 yards. And that's just been what Mountain View's been able to do, pick up 4, 5, 6 yards every play, and it's really helped them out the last couple of drives. Gomez Ricks a little slow to get up, or excuse me, that's Munson. Munson a little slow to get up after the play. He'll have to come off. Again, check back to IdahoSports.com over the weekend for brackets. I believe everything gets refreshed tomorrow at Max Preps, or maybe it's Sunday. We will have those brackets up as soon as they're ready. And we'll be ready to go to let everybody know who's playing where at what time and if we're going to be able to be there. Here's a pitch out to the right side, and good blocking by Mountain View, but Middleton able to get through. It looked like a great setup on the pitch, and I thought it was going to be a good pickup, but they're going to lose about 2 yards. So it was 2nd and 4 at the 20, and they're going to lose 2 yards back to the 18-yard line, so make it 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6, and this will surely bring the Middleton faithful to their feet here on 3rd down. 30 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Nelson in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers here to the near side, and they will throw it. They're going to set up the screen pass, and they don't get through. They're not going to get it. They're going to be 2 yards shy. The receiver put a block on Weston Mills, but it wasn't enough as the other defender came through. Yeah, McConkey was the other one, so they put a block on Mills, and McConkey came through. It was a good block. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. So after 3, the score is 14-10. We'll take a quick break and be back with the 4th and final quarter of play here on IdahoSports.com.
Let's talk about open enrollment for health.
Welcome back, everybody, as we are ready for the 4th and final quarter of play. It's all up to the final 12 minutes to decide who's going to go to the state tournament, and this one is far from over. 14-10, Mountain View leads it here at Middleton. Mountain View looks to be in a punting situation. I say looks to be because you never know in games like this. You pull out all the stops to get the win. Back to receive the punt are Mills and Walker. And again, Mills has been able to return anything he's been kicked at least 20 yards. And this punt is bobbled, and this one's going to go way back, and Mills just going to let it go. And maybe not the smart decision there, as this one going to go all the way down to the 15-yard line. It was over his head. It was going to be a tough one to field. But, man, that thing dropped around the 30-yard line and goes back 15 yards. So a great punt, getting it over the head of the returners for Middleton. And Mountain View does what they wanted to do, is flip the field. They flip the field and get the ball down inside the 20-yard line, and that's always what you want to do. Punts inside the 20. If you're a punter, that's what you love to see. You get that inside the 20, and they do so right there. So 85 yards of turf in front of the Vikings here to put some points on the board. Smith back in at quarterback now, and they've got 4 receivers spread on this one, do the Vikings. Smith looking to throw, and that one is picked off again. It's picked off once again, in and out of the hands of the receiver, and now Mountain View is in another situation, and we've got flags flying, people tackling people all over the place after the play. That's going to be a personal foul, but that's Bo Stewart's second interception, and Middleton just having all sorts of trouble throwing the ball right now. Not able to get it on target. That one in the hand, out of the hands of the receiver. The Mountain View defense has just been smothering in terms of pass protection. And so this was intercepted and brought back to around the 7-yard line. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Middleton. This will make it half the distance to the goal. So it's going to be 1st and goal. No, the PA guy said it was against the Mavericks, but it was against Middleton. Middleton tackled a guy after the play. Oh, no, so maybe Middleton was tackled into someone. I just saw a Middleton body go on top of a Mountain View body, but maybe it was because he was shoved. So now the ball is all the way back at the 25-yard line. So, hey, if you're Middleton, you look at that. If you're looking for any bit of light after all of that, it's that the penalty has pushed them back 15 yards because they were going to have 1st and 10 at the 10, 1st and goal from the 10. So now it's up to this Mountain View offense to come out and take advantage of the short field and really potentially put this one out of reach with the 2-score game in the 4th quarter. Nelson looking to throw, or looking for the snap. Now he'll look to throw it. He's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked. He's going to take a huge loss back to the 35, 34 as well. They'll spot it. So a loss of 9. It's going to be 2nd and 19, and they're going the wrong direction. After the interception had him at the 10, a penalty moves it back to the 25, and a sack back to the 34. So 2nd and very long. Mountain View needs the 14-yard line for a 1st down. They're back at the 34. It's 2nd and 20. So a loss of 10 on that one. Mountain View has just not had time to throw outside of the one great throw deep down the field earlier. That was in the 2nd quarter. They're going to go back to the ground where they've been successful and pick up a 4 down to the 30-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down, 3rd and 16 here for Mountain View. This will be an interesting decision here. This might be one where you go and you try to get, you might be in 4-down territory unless you get inside the 20. I'm not sure. I mean, we've seen Guerrero kick it a couple of times today. He does have a leg. I'm not sure if 45 yards is in his range, but maybe 30. Here comes the throw. He's got a pocket. He's under pressure, and he's almost sacked, and now he'll be tripped up and down to the 30. Once again, it's Mortensen who gets a hand on him, and Mortensen brings him down for no. It won't go down as a sack. It'll be no gain. But now decision time here for Mountain View is it's going to be 4th and 16. And again, not sure if this is in Guerrero's range or not for Mountain View, but the clock is running here, and it's a big decision. So Middleton able to hold after the interception. And it looks like Nelson will trot back on. Huge play here for the Mavericks and for the Middleton defense. This play right here could decide who's playing next week and who's watching from home. Here's a throw left side. It's incomplete. It's dropped at the 25-yard line, and Middleton will take over 1st and 10. Even if it had been caught, he needed to get to the 14-yard line, and he was not even close, wasn't going to make it. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings. It actually turns out pretty well for them. They had it inside the 5-yard line, and now they get the ball up at the 30-yard line. So I guess at the end of the day, you look at it and say, it's not so bad. Not exactly how you want to get there, but you're there. So 1st and 10 here for Middleton, and it looks like they're going back to the Drew Holman Wildcat formation. Coach Brock must have seen enough after that interception, and Holman is rumbling forward. Holman across the 40. Holman gets across the 45. It'll be marked out right there at the 45. So Drew Holman, a good pickup on 1st down, as I'd be shocked to see Middleton go through the air the rest of the game here, as they've had 2 interceptions that have been on very short passes, and they just haven't been able to go deep at all. Try to get some more scores for you around the Treasure Valley. Cuna leads Meridian 17-13. As Holman takes the snap, and he wants to go left side again. Holman still rumbling, and Holman, I believe, has a 1st down. He does. He is down to the 46-yard line of Mountain View, and Middleton's just going to keep going right back to this play. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Again, more than likely, if Middleton wins this game, they will be hosting a home game next week. That is not official, but that's, I believe, where it would sort out based on Brandon's bracketology that you can see on the homepage. So 1st and 10 Vikings. They'll bring a man in motion once again, and Holman's going to keep it. Holman breaks free. Holman into the 2nd level. Holman still going inside the 20, and the Vikings are in the red zone, and they're literally copy and pasting. Control C, Control V, every play right here, and they just can't bring down Holman. A great job by the line of scrimmage, that offensive line, to set up the blocks. They've got 2 defensive players that are in the backfield that are leading the way for Holman, and they bring Thompson on the sweep every time. And so watch for that. As Thompson comes around every time on that, they got to, eventually they're going to give it to him on one of these, and it's going to catch Mountain View out of place. Thompson comes in motion. They don't do it that time. Holman keeps it. Holman still rumbles forward, picks up a good chunk again, maybe about 6 yards, down to the 12-yard line. Should be 2nd and 4 here. 2nd and 4, no, 2nd and 5, down to the, so a gain of 5. Middleton taking their time. .640 to go. And this time they shift over to the near side on the formation. We'll see if they bring Thompson in motion. They do once again, and this time they keep it again. And Holman dancing, Holman spinning, Holman down to the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Vikings from there. Drew Holman continues to get it done on the ground. He has accounted for all 68 of the 68 yards on this drive for Middleton. He's earned the dessert or meal of his treat as he's able to get into the end zone, because he will have single-handedly gone on 2 very long drives for Middleton, keeping it himself. So 1st and goal here. Again, Wildcat formation as it's been the entire drive. Thompson comes in motion, and Holman will keep it. Holman looking for some room, and Holman is in for the touchdown. Holman goes in from 2 yards out, and Middleton retakes the lead. With 5:42 to go, so Drew Holman with 2 rushing touchdowns today, both of them of the 2-yard variety, both of them in the second half. The Robinson extra point is up and good, and Middleton has taken a 17-14 lead here in this one with 5:42 to go. So Middleton was down 14-3. Both teams with 2 touchdowns in a row. Mountain View had 2 in the second quarter. Middleton has had 1 in the third quarter and now 1 here in the fourth, and they regained the lead. Mountain View had a glorious opportunity. They intercepted the ball at the 10-yard line and got no points out of it. They had a unsportsmanlike penalty after the play, and then were sacked on the first play of the game, so they went back 25 yards in really one play after the interception, after the penalty and the sack, and could not recover from that. And now the score sits 17-14. They could have put the game away right there, I thought, with the score. It would have been hard for Middleton, but now the Vikings take the lead back here at home, looking for one more game to play next week for both of these teams. And again, more than likely that opponent would be Timberline, and more than likely it would be a home game. If Mountain View wins, I'm not sure how that shakes up. I don't know if they get the 4. We'll just wait. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Be sure to check back. Again, like I said, we'll have the brackets up as soon as we are texting everybody around, trying to find out what's going on even before the brackets have been released, just so we know, who's planning on a home game and who's not. And Robinson's kick lands at the 1. A great kick here. And Mountain View off to the races on the return. Tyler Robinson brings them down at midfield, but a great kickoff is squandered by an even better return by Mountain View. And Robinson, he had to do that last week. He had to stop a Capital returner, and he does it again here. So he gets another tackle to his name, and Mountain View with great field position inside Middleton territory. And this is exactly what the Mavs wanted to come out with. A huge 52-yard return. Sorry, that's a 54-yard return down to the Middleton 47-yard line. 5:34 to go. Mountain View going to keep it on the ground, still dancing around with the ball is Gomez Ricks, and Ricks ends up way back, but they're going to give him forward progress down to the 43-yard line, give him a pickup of 4. 2nd down and 6 coming. So 2nd and 6 here. They got 1 on the board, but it's 2nd down.
Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd down.
They're going to throw it right side, and this one is stopped. They get close to a 1st down. Weston Mills was the first one there, and they have not really thrown it to that side of the field. They haven't really challenged Mills very much over there, and he quickly got on that one, saw the screen play was the screen pass was the play, and wraps it up and brought down the receiver, number 3, Munson, quickly. Munson was a little shaken up, but they stopped the game for him. I thought he had to come out if they stopped the game for him, but he gets to stay in. So 3rd and 1, surely Mountain View will keep this one on the ground. They've been able to get at least a couple of yards when they want it on the ground. And they are going to keep it up the middle, and they do. They get enough. They get the 1st down. Great job. Middleton was back there, but again, they just haven't been able to stop Mountain View on those runs for any sort of loss. Mountain View at least able to get a couple of yards, and that time they get 3 down to the 36-yard line, so 1st down there. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go here. A field goal will tie it up. A touchdown will give Mountain View the lead. Crunch time here at Middleton tonight on a cold night. As that run, again, goes forward for a couple of yards. It looked like stopped maybe just a yard downfield, but Gomez Ricks just doing what he does and getting a couple more yards after contact. That's going to be a pickup of 1, 2, 3 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. 33-yard line, excuse me. So 2nd and 7. Clock is rolling. Mountain View seems to be playing for either the win or the overtime with the field goal. Who doesn't love free football for an overtime session? And they're going to throw it right side, and that one incomplete. That one was almost knocked out of the air by Noah Bunker. Bunker was coming in hot and jumped up and almost deflected the pass. Saw a play similar to that in college football a couple weeks ago, and BYU played Arizona, and they got a guy in the backfield, BYU did, who knocked down a similar pass and intercepted it. 3rd down now, 3rd and 8. After the incompletion, a big play here for Mountain View. This will be go-for-it territory, so they don't necessarily need the first down here. They will go for it no matter what here this late in the game. They'll keep it on the ground, and they're going to push forward, and they're not going to have the first down. They're going to get it to the 30. It's going to be 4th down and 4th and 4. 4th and 4. They need the 26-yard line for the first down. This could be the game right here. A chance for a state tournament berth for Middleton with the stop. A chance to keep going if you're Mountain View, and a timeout is going to be called by Mountain View. I mean, with only 2.5 minutes to go, this is crucial. If they do not get it, now they burned 1 timeout. They'll have 2 in their back pocket. Middleton will be able to at least run 1 play all the way down. You would think if Middleton does nothing but gain, let's just say they take a knee on every play. That's not what they're going to do. But if they did and got to a 4th down, they would have burned at least probably a minute off the clock at least. If they run it and get a first down, the game will pretty much be over. So we'll have to see how this 4th down play goes, what Mountain View decides to do. They've been able to get at least 2 or 3 on every run, but when you get to where you need 4, you really need things to get right. It's hard to just fall forward for 4. You really got to work for it. And going through the air has not been either team's cup of tea here tonight. Neither team has been very successful at all through the air. So here we go, 4th down. A trip to the state tournament on the line for both teams. Here comes the handoff, and he is going to be very close. I think he's right at it. I think he is right at the 26. He needed 4. He got 4. Got just enough. It'll be a first down for Mountain View. Clutch job there by the Mavericks. By the line, by the running back, Gomez Ricks, to run it. It is tough to run it on 4th and 4 and trust in your line and trust in your back to get that, and they do. 2:24 and running. The clock is here. Mountain View will keep it on the ground. Room to run. Not much, though. Only a yard down to the 25-yard line. Mountain View, they've got time, but not a ton of it. They have enough, but they don't have enough to be pretty with, so to say. They've kind of got to just hurry up and go, as now we're at the 2-minute mark here. Again, no 2-minute warning here in high school football. So we'll keep playing. Nelson, he's going to look to throw it. He's looking right side. The receiver makes a move on Mills, and Mills knocks it away. It was a good move on the outside as Mills they got behind Mills, did the receiver there. That was number 3, Munson, And Mills turned around just in time to knock it away in the end zone. So now it'll be 3rd down and 8. So 3rd and 8 on the deflection in the end zone. And Mountain View took a shot. It wasn't there. Now it's 3rd down. Again, this is 4-down territory, so they're not needing the conversion here. They'll go for it on 4th down. Nelson with the snap. They're going to run it. No, they'll throw it, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Sacked way back at the 30-yard line. They'll give him forward progress to the 26, but a big sack on 3rd down, and a flag is down right at the line of scrimmage. I wonder if this is on the offense. No flag, they'll say. So now 4th down, 4th and long. So the clock should restart. They should blow the whistle to start the clock. Mountain View's going to have to use a timeout right here. So on 4th and 10, they're going to call a timeout. They've got 8 on the board, but it's 4th and 10. The ball's at the 26. Mountain View needs the 16-yard line for a 1st down. This is a decision to make. Guerrero, he's got a leg. Now, I think if you don't get sacked on that play and you're able to just keep it up the middle for a yard, then maybe you're in good field goal range. But right now, with the ball on the 26-yard line, this will be about a 43-yard field goal. Maybe a 42, between 40 and 43-yard field goal. I'm not sure if that's in Guerrero's range. On his extra points, it seems like he might be able to do it. But, again, we don't know. It might not be worth the risk at this point if you're Mountain View. You just want to go for it, but decision time. Maybe, I'm going to say that'd probably be a 42-yard field goal. So we'll see what they decide to do here, if they want to kick it or go for it. Middleton with all of their timeouts. Mountain View now with just 1. So the offense is coming out. Nelson is trotting out with Gomez Ricks beside him. And here we go. The crowd will come alive here on 4th down. 4th and 10 for the Vikings, or for the Mavericks. Chance for the Middleton Vikings to win here on 4th down. Rolling back to pass. He's under pressure. Nelson, he's going to have to throw it deep. He goes to the end zone. It is incomplete, out of bounds, and Middleton will celebrate as this one falls incomplete, and the Vikings have all but won this game with 1.5 minutes to go. As the Vikings should be able to run out most, if not all, of the clock here. So Middleton will take over 1st and 10 here. And again, just 1 timeout in the pocket for Mountain View. And so it'll be close to see if they can get it all the way down. We'll have to see. They'll get it pretty close. This might be it. So Holman will line up under center. And he's probably just going to hold on to the ball as tight as he can. He's counting, making sure they got everybody in their spots. Okay, he's got everybody there. And he's just going to fall forward. And Mountain View not using a timeout right now. No, he's coming out. They want the timeout. So Mountain View takes a timeout. 1:14 on the clock, they call the timeout. So that's the final timeout. Middleton can essentially, they'll get very close. That was 1st down. So 2nd down, 3rd down. They should be able to run out this clock if my math serves me right. So more than likely Middleton has wrapped up the number 4 West spot, which again would be a home game potentially next week against Timberline. which is a game that would be a rematch from earlier in the season. Middleton did play Timberline earlier in the year. That was a game that Middleton won 21-14, so a close game that one was, and would be another fun first-round matchup next week if that's what it comes down to after the stop. And it does look like Middleton has come down to the victory formation as Thompson is way behind the play, and Holman does take a knee, and a couple of Mountain View players blow through the line, but it doesn't matter. And that should just about do it here. They'll do this one more time on third down here, and then they'll be able to run out the clock during as they wait for the fourth down play, I believe. And Holman takes the knee, and that will do it. There is not enough time on the game clock or on the play clock, and Middleton's going to come away with a 17-14 victory over Mountain View, and they will head to the state playoffs next week. Again, we believe that is Timberline. We believe that is here, but we will wait to see exactly where that is, and the time and location of that will be coming up very soon. So congrats to Middleton. We'll be right back with our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety right after this.
Hello?
I was in an accident.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had my seatbelt on.
And welcome back, everybody. Again, all that's left to do is to name our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you whether you're on the field or on the road, keep your head in the moment and free from distractions as Middleton knocks off Mountain View 14-7. Our Player of the Game, this is one of the most easy Player of the Game awards I've ever given. That one's going to go to number 17, Drew Holman. Holman comes into this one in a game where Middleton trails. I mean, he was in the whole time. He plays both ways, but he steps into the Wildcat formation down 14-3 in the third quarter and essentially just takes over the game, and he puts the team on his back on a drive. He had two drives where Holman carried the ball every single play and got every single yard for the team, and they win the game on those two touchdown drives by Holman, where he had every single yard on the ground, including two touchdown runs of 2 yards each, as Holman is our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game. Thanks for joining us here, everybody, for the final week of the regular season. It was a great way to cap off a great regular season of football here on IdahoSports.com. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Treasure Valley Game Night, presented by Meridian Plumbing, Southwest District Health, and Lookout Credit Union. Coverage on IdahoSports.com is also presented by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, as well as Your Health, or we said Your Health Idaho, but we'll say them again. Thanks for them. Open enrollment, open now. So if you're looking for health coverage, be sure, look now. Your Health Idaho's got you covered. I actually have my plan, my family's plan through Your Health Idaho. It's awesome. Got a ton of great plans there. Be sure to go check out Your Health Idaho. Thanks to everybody here at Middleton, including Athletic Director Andy Ankney, for getting us everything we needed to bring this broadcast to you at home or wherever you may be. Congrats again as Middleton knocks off Mountain View by the score of 14-7 as they move on to the state tournament. For Lewis Johnson on the camera, I'm Logan Green. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Again, be sure to tune in for all of the seedings, all of the times, everything like that on IdahoSports.com as the weekend goes along, and you will see where your favorite team is playing. Thanks, everybody.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of IdahoSports.com is strictly prohibited.